I've talked about Tiana's Bayou Adventure a lot on this channel, and in today's video, we're going to take a lap on the attraction together. This will be on Disneyland's version of the attraction, not the one at Magic Kingdom. Before we get started, please like this video, please leave a comment down below, let me know what you think of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And of course, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate your support. Thank you so much. For this video, we're going to use a POV that was shot by LMG Vids. So if you'd like to watch the POV without me yapping over it, I'm going to link it right here. When you're dispatched, you're going to hit a right-hand turn, and then you have a little bit of straight section before you reach that first lift. On the left-hand side is the queue, which is often filled, especially at this time of year, which is June and July, the summertime. It's been getting insane waits recently. I've seen it 70 minutes or more. This will be the first lift hill. One of the biggest differences between this version and the version in Florida is the inline seating. You sit 6 in a row for the version at Disneyland, so it's a lot less capacity, which does contribute to those high wait times. And then this is going to be the section that curves in front of the final drop. For Tiana's Bayou Adventure, they made it much more green, so there's a lot more plants in the whole attraction, but especially this like swampy area that used to be the Briar Patch. I do think it looks pretty nice, but I do prefer the Splash Mountain structure. The second lift hill does have the first Tiana animatronic. Looks like she was waving there. I don't think I've ever seen that when I've ridden the ride. She's a very fluid, very interesting animatronic. I do have a video ranking the animatronics, so you should definitely check that out if you have not already. The sign at the top of this lift hill is huge. It's way too big. The one in Florida is much more appropriate, but it's kind of comedic how massive that sign is. I think it's really interesting that on the left-hand side that wall is there, so you can't see the Haunted Mansion show building. So that just speaks to how compact Disneyland is. There's a Lewis figure right there. He is just a static figure, and usually I tear those to shreds, but I think that one is fine. This upper section is just kind of chill. You get to listen to the music from Princess and the Frog. I did prefer the music of Splash Mountain, but the music of Princess and the Frog is not bad in my opinion. Someone pointed out in a video that that's a hidden Mickey right there on the right hand side, so that's pretty cool. And here's where you see the back half of the water tower with the quote, "Never lose sight of what's really important," which is pretty cool. It's much closer to the attraction for this version compared to the version in Florida. We have a nice view of the final drop right there, which I really appreciate. Looks like this POV did not get lucky with the timing, but it is what it is. We pass Mama Odie's hut, which used to belong to Bear Bear. She says something. The set design in Florida is much nicer. I recently got to re-ride the version in Florida, so that's why I'm comparing it. And this is the first drop. It's very fun. There's no airtime or anything. Splash Mountain or Tiana's Bayou Adventure does not have any sort of airtime. You might get kind of wet. Like one time I sat in the back and I got absolutely soaked in this drop. It's kind of like a 50-50 chance. You might get soaked, you might get like nothing. Most of the time it's just like a light spritzing. This section right here is really dark. They tried to create a moment where like the bayou came to life, but I don't think it was handled very well. As you turn right, Lewis will be right here on the right hand side. This is a very impressive figure, but you don't have the most amount of time to look at him. Like he's still talking as you're floating away. And then here's the first band in the attraction, and then we already have our second Tiana animatronic on the other side of the flume, who's another pretty impressive animatronic. Here we have like a shack, and we have some dancing fireflies on the wall before we reach the second Lewis animatronic. This is probably the animatronic that I've seen have the most issues. He's definitely broken way more than he should be. I like how this band is split on both sides of the flume, so it feels much more interesting. Then you wrap all the way around, and then here's a nice little straightaway. You pick up a decent amount of speed before you see the fourth Tiana animatronic, who's sitting on a log. And you have Lewis's tail as he's digging through that log that she's sitting on. And then we see the first Mama Odie, who is on a screen, and this is the second drop. For this version of the attraction, you get absolutely soaked. Like, it's no joke. If you sit in row 1, an absolute wave is gonna shower you. Like, there's no escape. So if you don't want to get absolutely drenched, do not sit in the front. Preferably sit in rows 5 or 6. And then we are now the size of a frog. Here's the first of 4 large-scale frogs. He's pretty cool. I like the leaf background that he has. This used to be the laugh in place. I feel like this set design is just a lot less lively. It's a lot less atmospheric, even though the music is pretty cool. Like, the colors are just a lot less interesting to look at. That's probably my favorite frog animatronic. Here's where Brer Rabbit used to be captured by Brer Fox, and now it's just one frog. So, like, look at these walls. They're just so bland, especially on the right-hand side. Like, it's just not great. And then we have a massive screen again on the left-hand side, but at least there is that bottle. So there's something interesting about it compared to the one that just had Tiana and Louis. But again, like, the set design, if you look to your right, there's pretty much nothing. Like, even up here, it used to be nice rock work with the ravens sitting above the final lift, but now it's another screen. I do like how the lights kind of like encircle you as you go up the lift hill right here. Obviously, this is the final lift hill for the attraction because it's going to lead you to the final drop. On the left-hand side up here is going to be the next Mama Odie animatronic. Sometimes you stop. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's a stacking thing, but whatever. Here's the Mama Odie animatronic. In this POV, she is broken. It's just her mouth moving, so that's kind of a shame. But this is a realistic portrayal of what you might see if you ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure, because a lot of these animatronics have been having issues, which really, really sucks. This is the drop. It's the same as Splash Mountain. I love it. It takes your ride photo right there. You pick up a great amount of speed. You might get soaked right here when the water kicks back up if you sit in the back. If you sit in the front in the summertime, you also might get drenched, but it's nowhere near as bad as the second drop. So this is kind of similar to the upper section that we were at earlier, where it's just like music and rock work. Like, it's pretty atmospheric. I would say that this is the section of the ride that they really did the least amount to transform it from Splash Mountain into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Like, this rock work looks very similar to the rock work of Splash Mountain, because it literally is the rock work of Splash Mountain. Like, they barely changed it. But again, Splash Mountain took place in a southern bayou, and guess where Tiana's Bayou Adventure takes place? That's right, a southern bayou. But still, it does kind of feel cheap and lazy. And then we're making our way back inside for the finale. They added those white flowers right there, dangling down. There's a little sign right there on the right-hand side, welcoming you to Tiana's party. And then you turn the corner. For this POV, the two most important animatronics in this entire ride experience are broken, which are the finale Tiana and the finale Louis, which really sucks. On my most recent ride, they were both working again, but this is how it was for a very long time. The finale Tiana has had a lot of issues as well, which is really, really a shame, because she's by far the most important figure in the entire attraction. Like, there's a lot going on in the finale, but she is definitely the highlight of it. She's literally in the forefront. It's her party, you know? This is the most important figure, so it really sucks that she's had the most issues. But when she is working, she's a very impressive animatronic. And then you're gonna work your way up to the final Mama Odie animatronic. She is pretty awkward. Like, she has little one-liners, but you know, if you can see the log in front of us, we are stopped. So sometimes you're just staring at her, and she just says one line, and then it's awkward silence. She's kind of creepy, like unintentionally creepy, which is pretty bad. That's probably the worst thing a Disney animatronic can be. And it's had a lot of issues as well. Like, in this POV, her arms aren't moving, so that's not great. And the Juju snake is supposed to pop up, but I did not see that happen for this POV. But you know, it is what it is, I guess. And that is your ride experience on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. What do you think of this attraction? Do you agree with my opinions? Do you disagree? Please let me know down in the comments below. Like this video, and of course, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and I will catch you later.